Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. I am very excited to be guest designing for Pawsome Stamps today and being a part of the Christmas card making series. I get to play with the cutest new stamp set from this release, and I made a little cupcake shop window. This is the Jolly Cupcakes stamp set. You can see there are 6 different holiday cupcakes there, a little stand for your cupcake, and 5 sentiments. I'm stamping out the cupcakes I want for the front of my card with some Copic friendly black ink on some Copic friendly white paper. I stamped this out twice just because I already have the stamps in there and I know I'm going to want to use these again. Here's all the Copic markers I'll be using today. I'm kind of going for a monochromatic look for today's card with just red and pink. So I'm going to show you some of the red coloring and some of the pink coloring so you can see how I color and the colors that I used. So I started with my darkest marker, which is how I like to do it with reds, because reds are they're special. They kind of bleed out really easily, so I like to go from darkest to light when I use my reds. And since I did that with my reds, I went ahead and did the same thing with these pink markers. This is R43 for my darkest, and I went over that 2 times just to really intensify that dark shadow for my cupcake. I really like it when you can accentuate the creases in cupcake paper with a dark color and the rest of it's really light. I don't know why, but I love that look. And one of the reasons I wanted to play with this stamp set is because I love food stamps, cupcakes, donuts, ice cream. I love all of those things. So I just thought this set was so fabulous. Now there are a few parts of these cupcakes that I was like, oh, should I really just go with pink and red? Like, for example, the little Santa belt around this cupcake. So I decided to color it red, keep the things that were other colors white, and I'm going to dress these up. But first, let's go ahead and cut them out. So here you can see what they look like all cut out. They are adorable. I love that there are coordinating dies to go with these stamps. So I'm adding now some white gel pen highlights to all the things. I just think adding white gel pen really brings that extra something special to a stamped image, giving it that highlight, and it looks great. So there they are, all highlighted. All right, let's move on to the other parts of the card. I am going to need to let some things dry. So this is the little 1-inch strip that's going to go along the bottom for all my little cupcakes to sit on, and this is the background. I am using 2 different Distress Mica spray stains. One is peppermint stink and one is berry, something berry. Yeah, snowberry? Winterberry, it's winterberry. All right, so those are drying. I also have a window sheet here because I'm creating what would be like a storefront window. And I am taking this, it's not a paste, but it's called Icicle. And it's from the winter release from Tim Holtz, and it's supposed to crackle and look like ice. So I decided to put it on my window because this is a wintry scene. And just see, this is the first time that I've used it where I wasn't just creating a little swatch. So that needs to dry for quite a while. While that's drying, I'm creating a frame. So I have an 8.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock here, and I'm using this smallest frame die or rectangle die that I had in my stash to create that frame. And the nice part with the stitched edge I can save for later. So since we're making all the things that need to dry, I'm going to go ahead and add the stickles to my cupcake. So all of the white parts for sure, except the snowman, I'm going to add this diamond stickles to. I really love sparkle, and so I tend to add it on in multiple ways in my project. So not only is my background sparkly, but let's add some glitter and sparkle to the cupcakes, right? All those little sprinkles on that cupcake. And since I didn't think it would look good to make the snowman covered in glitter, I did the frosting right underneath him. And then the antlers on this little reindeer cupcake and the nose. I even did some little accents on the cake stand with the glitter as well. Now I'm going to work on my sentiment. So I'm stamping out the image that says ho ho ho. I love that I can color this image in, which is exactly what I'm going to do using the same 3 red Copic markers that I used to color in my images. And I'm just going to give these kind of an ombre effect. The darkest color at the top, working my way down to my lightest color, and I will even add some white gel pen highlights to these letters as well. Next, I wanted this to be a cupcake shop. So I took out this die set that I had with these teeny tiny little letters, and I wanted to cut away the word cupcakes from this black paper. So what I'm doing is I'm adhering these letters backwards to this low tack paper tape, and then I can flip this over now that they're all lined up and stick it down to the black paper. So I'm not going to use the actual die cut letters. I'm going to use the black paper with the letters cut out of it. So I'll run that through my die machine. There you can see what it looks like all cut out. And then when I remove this, I have that negative piece that I can use. I'll still save those letters. I'll just put them in a little baggie, save it with my die set, and then I'll have some that I could use another time possibly. I would hope I'd use those someday, right? All right, so I'm just going to put glue around the word cupcake and glue that down so the letters behind it are actually pink. I did save the fallout pieces from the P and the A so I can glue those back in, but this alphabet's pretty cool. Even if you don't, you could do that. So if you don't have a die this tiny, you can use bigger letters, you could use stamped letters, you could print something out, but I just had that on hand, so I pulled it out to use. And now I have the words Ho 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 Cupcakes, which is the name of my Christmas cupcake shop. All right, time to build the cupcake shop. Adding my 1-inch strip to my background. Then I added some extra pieces, die cut pieces, to the back of my cupcakes to make them a little bit more sturdy because they have glitter, and make them stand up from the background just a tiny bit. So I glued on all the pieces, and there you can see what it looks like with them attached to my background. So cute. All right, now it's time for embellishment. I love to put embellishments on all my cards. I love having different textures and different dimensions on my card. And you know, now that I have glitter on there, I've got shimmer, I've got these little cute clay peppermint candies. That's giving me a lot of different textures and dimension on my card, and I just love it. So I kind of put them everywhere. I mean, I guess a person could put more of these. And also, these could be used to make this card into a shaker card and not glue all of them down. You could put more in there and create a shaker, but I did not want to make a shaker today, which is weird because shaker cards are one of my favorites, but I just wanted to create a window scene for today. So there it is, ready to be made into a window shop. All right, so now you can see what that icicle looks like on top of this window sheet. You can see all that crackle, and it looks like a wintry window, doesn't it? So I'm going to adhere my frame to the outside of that, and I'm going to line the edge with foam tape. But remember, I'm not making a shaker, so it doesn't matter if the ends touch or not. And then I can put this right on top of my cute little cupcakes, and just making sure I line it up because they are the same size. I don't want one side showing more than the other. All right, so that is the cupcake window. It's going to stick down to this card, which is 8 3/4 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4 because my panel that I created on was already 8.5 inches. So I needed my card to be a little bit bigger because I love a white border around my card front. Next, I am adding some stamped images to the inside of my card. I like to do this before I adhere everything together, just in case I mess up, or sometimes the front of the card is a little bulky. And then I just glued that down, and I have that nice white border all the way around. I have the inside all stamped. What else? Well, we need to add our sign. Now, the back of this was uneven with 2 different depths of paper. What I'm gluing it down to is a little bit uneven. So I'm using a mixture of double stick tape and glue because good adhesion is very important to me. So there's my cupcake shop name. I think it's so cute. Next, I'm going to bring in some Snowfall grit paste. This is also from that same release with the icicle that came out, and it was a limited time thing, but I got it, so I'm going to be using it up. And this stuff looks exactly like snow. I love it so much. But if you don't have this, you could really use any kind of glitter paste that you already have and create a little snow around the edge of the window like I'm going to do here. So I'm just putting this on really randomly. It looks when it dries like melted snow. So just kind of stick it on there haphazardly, and it looks great. And while this was still wet, I decided we needed a few more peppermint candies. So I stuck them into the snow on part of this. And I love that look, carrying a little bit of what's on the inside onto the outside. So perfect. And then I like clusters of 3, so I went back and glued on some more peppermint candies to finish off my card. But I had so much fun playing with these cupcakes. There's so many different ways that you could color these up, or just maybe emboss them with white on red paper, or get simple with it that way. But I think it's a really fun and unique stamp set for the season, and I was so excited to have the opportunity to share it with you here on the Pawsome Stamps YouTube channel. So thank you for joining me, and if you would like more inspiration from Pawsome Stamps, they are on Instagram and Facebook and have new videos all the time. So be sure to check all of that out, and have a very nice day. Happy stamping! Bye!